Let's think about that for a second, right? So who are self-employed? Who are essentially works for themselves? We all do, right? We're all our own small business, right? We've decided to take all of our little fires, bring them together in one big fire, but we're all still one little fire if we wanted to, right? Because we could take our little fire, we could go put it over here and bleh. We could do it, right? And guess what? Or we could take our little fire, we could put it back in, and we could reignite, right? And you could go, but Curtis, I don't have to be disciplined. I got into real estate because I don't want to be disciplined. I don't want a boss. I don't want a schedule. I don't want money. I got in because I don't want to be disciplined. So think about this. Go with me for a second. So to run a business, if you guys let's pretend this was real life. Let's pretend this was a real business, right? But give me a company, a business. What would you start another business in? If you weren't in real estate. Restaurant? You guys want to go to a restaurant, okay? If you open a restaurant, would you think that as the owner and as the founder and the creator, would you need to be disciplined?
Yes.
Does anybody not think so? You absolutely have to be disciplined. Okay? Do you have to be disciplined to start a small business?
Yes.
No? Maybe.
Small, I guess.
Okay, so here's the deal. To run a good small business, you have to be disciplined.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, so now you guys agree with that. Okay, you guys agree with that. Okay, but to run a business, you don't have to. So here's the deal, right? And you guys are both right. So do you have to be disciplined? If you want the business to work, you have to be disciplined.
Yes.
Is discipline fun? Not when you start, right? Not when you start. Being disciplined sucks when you start, right? When you start being disciplined, when you start getting those habits. So what happens if I'm an agent, I'm a new agent, I'm a new small business owner, and I choose to not be disciplined, right? Well, not you, because you guys are special, right? This is just me, I'm just an average agent, right? I come in, I choose not to be disciplined. Can I wake up tomorrow and then not feel the effects of it? Yep. Absolutely. Right? I shared the experience several times. My first year in college, I would call it college. I grew up in San Jose, and the beach was about 40 minutes away. And I could not believe that I was enrolled in college, but I didn't actually have to go. I was like, what? And they're like, okay, so you got to pass the midterm and the final. And I was like, is this a joke? Is this like a total joke? I'm like, do you understand, like the beach is like 45, like that's on, man, let's go, right? So for a few weeks, about 5 or 6 weeks, I was enrolled in some classes, right? And I was playing tennis and I was worried about all that stuff, but I was enjoying myself, right? I was like, there's some beautiful women, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on here, and I'm loving it. And then I showed up to the midterm, and I was like, wow. And I walked out about 5 minutes later, I passed in my paper, and my buddy walked out about 2 or 3 minutes later. We walked out, and I go, guess we're dropping that class. I had no idea, I did not know. I thought, oh, I'm gonna be able to just totally breeze through that, right? So, with that story, did I have to be disciplined?
Yes. Well, no.
No, I didn't. I wasn't disciplined, I didn't have to be. But what was my end result? I had to drop the class before I got an F, right? Because I would have, right? Totally thought I could ace that. Did not see that coming, right? But, and so in our life as small business owners, there is a small window where you can choose to be undisciplined. Small window, right? But if you choose to be, if you extend that out, what happens? Here's the deal, watch this. You're forced to be disciplined. By who? Someone that will then control you and force you to punch a clock. And guess what? You then are disciplined again. You guys get that?
Yeah.
But who decides? Who decides what time you show up when you're employed?
You.
When you're an employee?
You're the employer. The person that's going to pay you.
Yeah.
Right? Who decides what you do during the day?
They do.
Someone's paying you, and do you get to go decide, or do they?
They do.
What about, did they decide when you can take time off to go to the doctor and all that? Yep, they decide. Do they decide when you get to take your vacation?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. You could say no, they don't. Yeah, they do. Because if you take it at the wrong time, yeah, they do. They do. What else do they decide that you no longer get to decide?
How much you make?
How you dress.
Okay? They decide how much you make. Right? So you guys get this? So you guys are small businesses and you're like, I don't want to be disciplined. Small window, and then guess what you get to go do? Be disciplined. Or, let's flip it around, you can choose to be disciplined as a small business, and then who gets to decide all those things?
You.
Do you get to decide, like I'm going to work in the afternoons or in the evenings, or I'm going to be a morning? You get to decide that if you're disciplined. You get to decide what you make if you're disciplined. You get to decide when you go on a family vacation if you're disciplined. You get to decide all of these things, or this small window of freedom that you go watch agents quit. You watch how this works, right? And they go, oh my gosh, why would you be disciplined? This is so great. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to go punch a clock. I can't believe, oh, guess what I get? I'm disciplined again. Right? So discipline is not a choice. We will all be disciplined. We will all be disciplined. We will all choose discipline or unemployment. Does that ring a bell at some point? So this fantasy of I get to live my life in an undisciplined way does not exist. Right? Until you're so financially well off that you can go through and do that, but most people at that point are dead. Okay? So I'm begging you to choose discipline in your life, to choose to run it and to be a business so that you don't have to work for a business. Okay? So that's your choices with this.